have a motion and a second to approve the audit report. You need a roll call or? No? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried to approve the audit report. Now we can ask.
My question is, we gotta get into budget quick, like, what do you think we should come over there, or we should all come here and do it here, and you come over here? Or we've been doing it bouncing back and forth, and we don't, what way do you prefer? What do we wanna do? We
I guess
should decide
that's-
right now.
Up to you if you wanna do it here and have it, all the council, then, you know, it's gonna be a meeting, public meeting, or do we, you know,
I think
put
one or
some of the
two is
numbers
fine.
together and then.
Last
bring it
2 years I've gone through.
Yeah.
I personally think it should be done in an open public meeting, and if it needs to be a special meeting, it needs to be done here, they don't hide anything from the public. That's my opinion.
Well, what's being done?
Nothing, absolutely nothing, but I don't want to be accused of it.
Well, I mean,
I'll take it out.
it's just the heads of the departments discussing, and then we are in an open meeting and a public meeting. Go over.
You have to have a public hearing. to
Oh,
prove it,
yeah,
right?
okay.
I wouldn't want the whole public here while we're trying to decide if the police department needs this much money, that. When we come down to the final approval, like you said, then it's obviously a public meeting.
And there's a budget's a public record.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't see a problem with the public being privy to it, I guess, so, whatever.
It's worked very well the last few years with just the department heads.
And usually that's you and,
It's been in the past.
I
Mike?
went last year with Carla, and you didn't go last year.
Yes, it did.
Well, you didn't. Or we
No,
go with
I went down there.
And Jared
Okay.
and
Going 2 years, 4 years.
Mike, Mike,
my mom.
Yeah, my
Mayor.
Yeah,
Okay.
back to roof down.
but that's fine with me if we wanna do it that way, but we should.
Tell 'em
I
was
know, I
there,
just
Mike.
wanted to know so we could give Dave a heads up.
I was there.
We should get started.
Yeah.
So you and Dave will just get the date set up.
Do you want to
Yeah.
give me some times, maybe tomorrow?
Yeah, I can get you some dates.
You want to go
Time.
We wanna,
Only two people to go, so
two council members can go.
I'll be glad to go.
I can't, so.
I just want to point out to the crowd here that this is not, what they're doing is it's a roadmap. It doesn't decide what the budget's going to be, it's a roadmap. So Tony's comment to try to inflame the issue was unnecessary.
I was not trying to inflame
Okay.
any issue, excuse me,
All right.
Roger.
It's a public meeting, it's not for. Okay,
Okay. I'll get
thank you,
some
Dave,
dates
we'll
then.
call and set up something.
Okay, thanks.
I'd like to request a copy of the report.
And we have a form you can fill out, Becky, I have it in there. We have it in the office for public records.
Okay.
Thank you, Dave.
Yep.
Roland.
Huh?
Well, it's that time of year, or time of years, or whatever, again, so.
It's always fun.
It's funny how they come before the budget.
It's always fun when we're gonna get somebody to finally lower our rates or something.
Well,
He's the CHM guy.
Oh, see it, it's garbage.
Bottom line's gonna have a 10% discount.
well, not quite, but, basically, we'll start out with the contract that we're currently in. Was supposed to have an increase in 2013 and then another one in 2015. That was in the contract, and we did not increase either one of them. So you've had 4 years at a level rate.
Don't double us now.
So in 2016, your current rate's $8.82 per cart plus landfill. Starting the new contract in July of 16, I would like to go to $9.04. And that's just for the cost of the cart. And then 2 years later, it would go to $9.31. And 2 years after that, it would be $9.51, which is about 3%, 2 or 3% every couple of
So
years.
that billing on the, going to 904 would be starting on July 1st.
Yes, after the current contract is.
Do you have a new contract for?
Yeah.
Okay. So 904 would, you want to go into effect when?
When the contract starts, which I think is July.
7/1/16, and then the others would be 7/1/18,
Yep.
and then
7/1
7/1/20.
Yeah.
So you would, okay, we do that far in advance.
The last one was 4 years, I'm
Oh,
doing
it was,
5.
okay.
Yeah,
Can I ask a question, please?
sure.
I believe at a meeting, we talked about it, we might not have raised it, but there was raised in the electricity, and we all talked, I thought we raised the garbage.
We don't raise the garbage, he charges us.
This is what he charging us
This
to haul
is
the
what he
garbage
charges.
on.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
think that issue was a landfill, unexpected landfill fee
Right.
increase.
Okay, thank you for
That was out
clearing that
of,
up.
that was out of the hands of Roland.
Okay, thank you.
The only thing on the landfill, I don't think there's been maybe unless they did
There
per
was-
capita.
There was one that you came in, I think about a year ago, that it was out of your hands, and we had to increase it.
No, I've never changed the
Oh,
landfill.
there was
fee.
a landfill increase.
I think it was from the, wasn't it from the county was there,
That's possible.
the change? I think it was.
Must have been in
It
your
was
per
from-
capita.
it was from
Yeah, I
the
think that
county.
sounds right.
Yeah, yeah, okay, they raised your per capita.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they haven't changed my tipping fee at all.
No,
Now, I look for that to happen coming up, but if they raised your per capita, then,
that's what they did. For the
okay.
county.
But,
Increase again too.
basically, and then also,
The landfill's running
we're
out
using a
right now.
$3 fuel basis.
Everything's all that.
So when fuel falls to $2.25, which it's getting close, you get a 15-cent rebate. So your 18 cents or 20 cents that I'm charging you, you're gonna get 15 cents back when the fuel drops. So you're gonna be basically where you're at, but not too many people will come in here and tell you that I didn't raise your rates because it was in the contract.
Thank you. I don't know.
Do we do that, or do we have to have one first that?
Do you have a contract that,
It's the same, except that we changed the pricing and the dates.
And this contract would be for 4 years again.
5.
I wanna, Mr. Schmidt, is that contract too long in term?
1, 2, 3, 4, okay.
So Mike.
We have done 5 years a lot of times.
Okay.
Only with regard to real estate, you have to, can't go over 3 years. This is 5.
Yeah. It expires in 21.
Well, this is not real estate,
But, no,
right? You can do it.
But
We
I
can do
think-
5.
I haven't seen the
I was
contract,
gonna
neither
say.
do you.
Yep.
I can't
We'll
recommend you
just,
pass it
if
on,
you
looking
could
at it.
leave us a copy and
Sure.
we'll put it on
Put it on the
for
agenda.
February agenda to review.
Did you review the last one?
Sure I did.
Okay. It's basically the same thing, changing the price. But you can check it out, that's fine.
Probably the last one, wasn't any of us on the board, well, some of them probably were.
Tom was,
Diane.
What is it, just sign here, don't worry about the fine print?
that's why I bring them, so the lawyer can read them.
There you go.
Yeah. Been here before, done that again.
Gotta do something, but-
You're so good.
He's gotta do something to earn his money, he's charging you, isn't he?
That's what I say, you gotta do
The law
something.
tells me I'm supposed to do it.
Oh, okay. Did he reduce his rate?
No.
We haven't got our rebate yet.
Oh, okay.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
guys.
Have a good evening.
Yeah, you too.
Next on you, Bob.
Do you have one of these?
no, that was,
Or copies for everybody for the next time?
Bob?
Can I help you?
We have a bill. I guess there's a bill received from Danbury Ambulance for Services, $450. Not sure where we are with that and why we have a bill.
Okay. On occasion, we came down and covered some calls when Mapleton was unable to answer a call for one reason or the other. And one of our members had a conversation with Roger, and he said, send us a bill.
But at that point in time, we were under contract with Siouxland.
You might have been under contract with Siouxland, but that's not Siouxland's bill. Siouxland had a person here. A driver wasn't provided. So Siouxland met their part of the contract. They had a person in the shed waiting for a driver to come. It's not Siouxland's fault that something else happened.
But Danbury didn't bill the patient they hauled,
Surely did.
so you've been paid.
No. Do you pay the people that are on your ambulance service?
Yeah.
We're in the process of doing it anyway.
We're with Burgess right now.
It doesn't make any difference if you're with Burgess or Siouxland or.
But if
or
you
on
got,
your own
if
or
you bill
anything
the
else.
people that you haul, now you're double dipping in my book.
No, I actually don't see it that way. You got charged for a service that we provided.
But the people that you haul, you got paid from them or their insurance company, correct?
Sure, but this is no different than if I do a special event someplace, you're gonna get charged X amount of dollars an hour. If something happens to somebody, we're gonna bill that patient. Same thing.
What I'm trying to say is if you answer the call in Mapleton and you bill that patient for your services, you've already been paid. Or Danbury has been paid, because Danbury would have done the billing.
Right, we billed the patient.
So why are you bill, I don't, that's double dipping in my book,
I
sorry.
just don't understand why we just built.
I don't either.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you guys a couple of questions. Why was Danbury paid?
we could, when they would provide the service, I'm sure.
Okay, and why weren't you be able to provide the service?
Just didn't have a driver, whatever
Okay,
the scenario.
So how do you classify this? Do you classify it as mutual aid, or how do you classify it?
Yeah, wouldn't you
That'd be
classify
mutual aid.
mutual aid?
It's not mutual aid. In order for it to be mutual aid, you have to have a resource on the scene, and you have to have expended all your resources and you're asking for help. Not the case here. You didn't have a resource on the scene, period.
Well, I guess I'm kinda like Tom, if you hadn't got anything from the customer that you hauled, I could pay you the $450, so you ain't out that. But if you got reimbursed $450 already, why are you doing it to us?
How many calls did we have? How many individual calls are on there?
I don't know, but if you
Well,
got,
but that part don't make any
If
difference.
you didn't
You've
get
already been
reimbursed
paid
by
from the
some-
patient that you transported.
now, if there's somebody that didn't pay you, then I could see you coming to us for that money. But if they paid you, I just don't get it.
Okay, fine, okay.
Well,
Doesn't make me any difference.
does,
I've got a fee schedule here for you that you guys need to look at, because the next time we get paid, you're gonna get charged the city, period.
well, there's no reason to get upset about it.
I'm not getting
We just
upset.
wanna understand.
I've explained it to you the very best that I can.
So for example, the other day, our ambulance actually called in Danbury.
That's not, we did not, our ambulance was in Danbury. You actually had somebody on the scene who impersonated an EMT from Mapleton. You don't believe me, call your ComSec.
I'm not disbelieving anything you're saying. I didn't, I just know there was a call up there that we answered.
Our ambulance was in the shed, ready to go, all kinds of people. I know this because I was home, my wife was home, Elizabeth was home, right there.
So they didn't call you, in other words.
In other words, they didn't call us first.
I didn't understand that. So just asking.
Okay.
Well, then resolve it one way or another, we'll pay them or not.
So you weren't.
Huh?
I thought you all
I
said you
would
weren't.
assume that would take a motion and everybody approve it. Huh?
You don't make a motion to pay, then we get paid.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we make a motion not to pay it, whichever. That way you're officially on the record and haven't done something about it. Either way, it makes no difference to me.
Okay. Would someone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion, we don't pay it.
Make a motion, we don't pay it.
Second.
We have a second. Motion and a second to not pay this bill from Danbury Ambulance Service.
I think there needs to be more discussion so it's more understood. I mean, I don't see you starting a tiff with a neighboring community over $450.
And that's what I'm saying, let's not get upset about it.
I'm not upset.
No.
Pay it or don't pay it, I don't care.
But do you
$450 is not gonna break
But
Danbury
you're
ambulance
basically
trust.
fronting them.
But do you understand what I'm pointing at, that you've been
I
paid?
understand, I
from the
understand,
patient?
I understand what you're pointing at, but you need to understand what I'm pointing at too. When we come down here and cover a call for you guys, because your people don't show up, unfortunately, and you and I have had this discussion many times, and we would love to work out we would love to work out a solution to this problem. Unfortunately, you and I don't have enough money or enough, you know what I'm saying, to get the job done.
I know.
So when we're down here, if we get paged out, who covers ours?
So we don't have a 2080 agreement with or we don't do
I
that.
thought we did.
You
with
have a
the-
2080 agreement. This has
Okay.
got nothing to
But
do with the
nothing with
2080
mutual.
agreement.
I'm just asking.
Yeah, no,
So-
I understand that.
All right.
If the tables were turned and we sent this to you, would you pay it?
If you came up
If,
and I
if
couldn't,
the situation was turned
Sure.
around, the Mapleton ambulance did these for Danbury,
if
would
you
you
have a
pay
flat
that?
tire, your ambulance
No, I'm not
won't
talking
start.
about a flat tire, I'm asking
I'm
you
trying
if
to
the
explain
tables
this
was
to you
turned.
so you understand it. If you have a flat tire, your ambulance won't start, those kinds of things, we come down because that's mutual aid. Your resource was unable to respond because of mechanical difficulty, those kinds of things. That's what they call a contingency plan, okay? In this particular case, where's your ambulance? In the shed?
I don't know, I don't know when it goes out
Okay.
and when it doesn't.
According to the Iowa code, okay, not Iowa code, according to the administrative rules, okay? When you say that you're gonna have an ambulance service, and they authorize you to do that, it's for 365 days out of the year, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. When your people don't show up, because they don't show up, then you've actually violated the administrative rules. So we're actually trying to help you out, okay?
Well, I'm like Tom, it seems like we're paying you're getting paid twice for the
Right.
same thing.
We're not getting paid twice for the same thing. We're charging you for a service that we provided.
And you got paid from the people that you hauled,
You provide it.
The person, the patient,
yeah, the patient.
insurance company.
So what you're basically saying though is you provide a service for Mapleton and the patient.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay.
Now you get it.
Is that for how many runs? $450?
I don't know.
There's a couple.
There's four.
Copy of the bill in there.
Yeah.
It's in the back.
4 runs.
That's why people can't.
Roger, you had something?
Yeah, I did talk to their crew, and the conversation was much more in-depth than what can be presented here.
Right.
And, having more time to analyze this, at that time, we were under contract with Siouxland Paramedics. If Siouxland couldn't provide personnel, would that be breach of contract, Mr. Schmidt?
Yeah. Yep.
So we potentially would have an action against Siouxland Paramedics for this amount.
Yep.
If we're responsible for it.
And that's where the gray issue is. Ultimately, there was an agency relationship between the city and Siouxland where the hammer falls, finally, who knows? But that's the issue, is who actually does it come down to? Does it come down to Siouxland or does it come down to us? Is that correct?
I'm sorry, I wasn't completely paying
Well,
attention.
It's-
so basically this bill should have been presented to Siouxland,
No,
no?
I had a medic at the station at that time. You did not provide a driver.
Well, they were all,
Siouxland
even
Paramedics.
wasn't even the driver considered employees?
No.
Yes, they were, because the drivers were paid from Siouxland, not City of Mapleton.
Yeah.
I know, because I was a driver.
Okay, but were you not expressly, was that not part of the contract, was that Mapleton would provide the drivers?
No, we were all Siouxland. It was all Siouxland paramedics.
Absolutely.
We were all paid from Siouxland paramedics, we were insured by Siouxland paramedics. And the schedule, with the person that was doing the scheduling, in my personal opinion, probably didn't have a driver scheduled. That's where Siouxland should have interacted.
My understanding was that you guys provided the drivers.
No
We
way.
paid them, but you guys provided the drivers.
That's not the case, you better relook and check it out. I work for Siouxland.
I'm sure I'll have to now.
Yeah, you will, because I know, because I worked for them.
So in other words, you're telling me that if you guys couldn't provide drivers, the city of Mapleton, or the community of Mapleton, let me rephrase that here a little bit, couldn't provide drivers, that I was supposed to send a driver down from Sioux City?
You
Is that
weren't in
what you're
charge of
telling me?
Siouxland paramedics back then.
I beg your pardon?
You weren't in charge of Siouxland paramedics back then.
It
but
doesn't
your-
make any difference, Tom.
Your
I can still
paramedic
read the
that was down
contract.
here should have called Siouxland and said, we don't have a driver on the schedule today. The city of Mapleton, when we had a contract with Siouxland, the city of Mapleton had absolutely nothing to do with it. We owned the ambulances, we housed them, end of story. Check your contract, you'll see.
Well, let's That's my lawyers make money.
Bill Sewell.
Okay, so we still had a motion and a second that we have to clear up.
Yep.
Motion and second to not pay this bill for Danbury ambulance
I think the
service.
motion died when you tabled
All
it.
those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Moving on to report.
Bill Sewell. What's the big deal? Bill Sewell.
Is Marie, or